Motorsport TV Live, brought to you by Motorsport Tickets, the dedicated motorsport experiences provider.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport TV Live. I'm Diana Binks with all the latest motorsport news. Mohammed Ben Sulayem wins the race to be the next FIA president. Red Bull are looking to secure the future of world champion Max Verstappen for the next 15 years. And Toyota's new principal hints at a Le Mans run for rally champion Sebastian Ogier. All those stories and more coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Mohammed Ben Sulayem has been elected the new president of the FIA, taking over from the outgoing Todt after 12 years. The former rally driver takes up the role, having also been the first Arab to be elected to the FIA's World Motorsport Council and previously served as vice president for sport with the FIA. More reaction to come in a moment, but speaking to motorsport.com earlier this year as part of the hashtag Thinking Forward series, Sulayem felt that there was a need to make motorsport more affordable for young drivers around the world.
This day-to-day management, it's not for the president. I don't want to micromanage. I want to be a president, lead, but have the day-to-day to a CEO who can bring the sport and mobility together, which we need to have that. And then one of the things is also, when you say double motorsport, I mean, people say, how can you do this? But I mean, it is there. If you look at the two biggest countries in the world, 1.4 billion. We're talking about China with this, credibility with the manufacturers that's going on, with the engineering that goes on, and then you have also India, 2.8 billion. How many drivers? I mean, in India it's 4,000. In China we don't know, maybe it's 2 or 3. And imagine it's less than one country in Europe. Finland has 5.5 million and has 11,000. Driver's license, computer license, which I believe that how to do that is, first of all, with the knowledge that is in these countries, have affordable vehicles and to the introductory level machinery. I can see, I mean, in the World Council we started with something called cross cars, and that was amazing. I mean, I believe it is the future. I still believe in it. But then the cost was supposed to be like 8,000 euros, no more, and then it jumped to 25,000. Now, if you look at India and China, they have this engine. Why do we impose on them? We take the blueprint, we make sure we supervise and implement the safety regulations in it, and let them go into the regional, their own local championship and regional championship. I think it is doable and it's achievable to reach the numbers.
And a short time ago, I was joined by Motorsport Network's president, James Allen, to give us some more insight about what the FIA might look like under the new leadership of Ben Sulayem.
Well, certainly a fresh approach. He's the first non-European to be elected FIA president in its history. He's got quite a lot of very bold ideas for developing the sport, particularly from the point of view of accessibility. He wants to open up the access to the sport, very widely. His goal within the 4 years of his initial term, presuming he runs for a second term after that, as they tend to do, but within that first 4-year term, he wants to double motorsport, as he calls it, which means doubling the number of license holders that there are around the world. And that has happened in 1 or 2 countries. I mean, he uses the example of a country like Finland that has a population of just 5.5 million people, but with 11,000 competition license holders. And then when you look at somewhere like China and India, they've only got 4,000 or 5,000 each. So there is huge scope around the world to double the sport. It's going to be very interesting. He's going to hit the ground running, I think, because he's been planning for this for quite a long time. He's been campaigning for a long time. And so his plans, I think, are already pretty well developed.
He's also said he wants to bring quite a different structure to the whole role and bring in a CEO. Can you see that being implemented?
Yes, it's an interesting one. That really differentiated him from his rival Graham Stoker, or from the way that Jean Todt had run it, the FIA, for the last 12 years, or indeed Max Mosley before that. I mean, Jean Todt was the CEO of Ferrari, so not surprisingly, when he became FIA president, he was not only the sort of political figurehead of the governing body, but he's also running it like a CEO. Ben Sulayem isn't going to be that kind of president. He's definitely the political leader. He's the influencer. He's the one who's going to be going around talking to governments and being the kind of face of the FIA, if you like. But behind the scenes, he's going to employ a CEO to actually run the FIA more like a business. And that's somebody who, although it's a very powerful role, will probably be a behind the scenes type of person. The kind of profile, obviously, that you see running sort of sports federations and that kind of thing. So, but it's going to be quite interesting to see who they appoint, because the profile is quite a challenge. You need somebody who understands all of that, but who also understands both the sporting side of motorsport and also the mobility side, and things like Euro NCAP, safety tests, crash testing, and all the sustainability issues around electric mobility and that kind of thing. So it's quite a complex profile to find.
As you say, he's been looking at this situation for some time and wants to make it much more affordable and easier access for anyone that wants to get involved and completely raise the profile.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, the FIA has run along sort of similar lines, if you want, for the last sort of, the 12 years of the Todt presidency and then the Mosley years before that. It's been quite Europe-centric. Although there's a World Motorsport Council that comprises members from all over the world, which are elected to that council, there's been quite a change there as well. So quite a few countries that are sort of more traditional countries, if you like, have sort of dropped off that World Council and been replaced by newer, more progressive countries, if you want. So I think you're going to see quite a lot of changes, and that will be interesting to see how that plays out as well when it comes to things like the rule-making side of sports like Formula One and Le Mans 24 Hours and WEC and World Rally and Formula E and that kind of thing, because you've got some different people now wanting to evolve things and change things at that level. So I think this can really be seen as a real turning of a page within the way that the motorsport is governed.
The landscape's always changing and it needs to change with it, of course. And a final thing really on Jean Todt, 12 years at the helm, a true leader?
Yes, of course. I mean, one of the most successful Formula One team principals ever with Ferrari and Michael Schumacher. And obviously he brought that kind of can-do mentality to the FIA. He's modernized the federation in many ways. I think he's never been a great one for sort of blowing his own trumpet, if you want, or doing lots of PR. And I think a lot of the stories of the achievements of the last 12 years sort of haven't been told as perhaps as widely as they might have been. I mean, just one example that always impresses me: in the last 12 months, they've taken the technology derived from motorsport and they've produced an affordable crash helmet, a $20 crash helmet that will save many, many lives on the roads in Africa and Asia, etc., for scooter riders and motorcyclists, that kind of thing, that's come from motorsport and is going to have a huge impact on society. And so there's been an awful lot done across the board. Obviously, the creation of Formula E and many, many other different initiatives, women in motorsport initiatives, etc., that perhaps those stories aren't as well told. I mean, the people behind the scenes know about them, but the public perhaps don't know about them as well. But as you say, a tremendous legacy, but now it's up to the new man to take it on and build from there.
We look forward to seeing what the next chapter brings. For the moment, though, James, thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
James Allen, Motorsport Network President, chatting to us earlier. Well, outgoing FIA President Jean Todt feels sorry that Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes boss Toto Wolff skipped Thursday's prize gala in Paris and believes they deserve more for their season. Hamilton's absence as runner-up in the Formula One title battle is technically a breach of Formula One sporting regulations and could lead to a potential sanction from the governing body. However, Todt thinks that Mercedes should have much more reward for their season and acknowledged an 8th manufacturer Constructors' Championship is something truly unique in the sport, with Mercedes electing to withdraw its appeal into the Abu Dhabi race outcome. Todt wanted to shift focus to Verstappen's success and praised the outstanding job the Dutchman had done. In the interest of balance, though, Todt acknowledged another great season for Hamilton in a year when he felt Mercedes was the better squad. And fresh from picking up his trophy, Red Bull are looking to push for an early contract extension with Max Verstappen that will keep the new world champion locked down for the long-term future. Verstappen's contract currently runs until the end of 2023, and he has said several times since his success at the weekend that he wants to stay at his current squad for the next 10 to 15 years. Speaking as he officially received his World Championship trophy at the FIA's official prize giving in Paris, Verstappen said, "I feel amazing to have finally achieved my goal. I hope I can do this many more times. It's been an incredible battle with Lewis, one of the greatest drivers ever in Formula One. We really pushed each other. At the end of the day, we can look each other in the eyes and respect each other, which is really important." And as we've previously mentioned, Hamilton himself and his team boss Toto Wolff weren't present at the ceremony. So instead, it was left to Mercedes Chief Technical Officer James Allison to collect the Constructors' Championship trophy on their behalf, which they have won for a record 8th consecutive season. Don't go anywhere, we've lots more from the world of motorsport, including an end-of-year Extreme E report from its series founder, Alejandro Agag. That's coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Lots of great opportunities on offer there to get to some fantastic racing in 2022. Now, Alex Lynn will make a return to the World Endurance Championship next season, which will combine his IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship programme for Chip Ganassi Racing with an LMP2 seat at the United Autosports team. Lynn mainly raced in Formula E this season and finished 12th in the drivers' standings with Mahindra, and has since made the decision to focus on prototype racing next year. The 28-year-old Briton will partner Oliver Jarvis and teenage American Josh Pearson in a full season entry after making his debut with the team at this year's Le Mans 24 Hours. Ironically, he'll be competing up against Jarvis in IMSA, with the Petit Le Mans winner signing for the Meyer-Shank Racing Acura team after Mazda elected to pull the plug on its IMSA participation. Now, how about this? Sebastian Ogier driving for Toyota in a third car in the Le Mans 24 Hours could be an option for 2023, according to newly appointed team principal Kamui Kobayashi. Ogier ended his full-time World Rally Championship campaign with Toyota after securing his 8th title, and although he plans to stay on part-time in 2022, he's also weighing up sports car and Le Mans ambitions. Having now seen Ogier driving one of the Toyota hypercars at last month's post-season WEC rookie test in Bahrain, Kobayashi admits he was impressed by his speed, especially coming from rallying. Ogier himself said he has still yet to firm up any 2022 plans beyond contesting the WRC season opener in Monte Carlo in the new hybrid-powered Toyota Yaris. The Extreme E team, co-founded by Carlos Sainz Sr., topped practice for the Jurassic X-Prix, while Lewis Hamilton's X44 crew had the edge on championship rival Rosberg X Racing. The first day of running at the Bovington military base on the south coast of the UK saw the Spanish crew take almost a 20-second advantage over the nearest competitors. On the day that the ABT Cupra team announced its commitment to Extreme E for 2022, they were the best of the rest. Series founder and CEO Alejandro Agag was a guest on This Week with Will Buxton, and he admitted this year has been a learning curve for the series, but also cannot wait to apply everything that he's learned and make the season 2 even better.
I mean, I'm really happy that we have achieved to exist with Extreme E. I mean, it was an incredibly challenging year to take these races to these remote corners of the planet, to take this race to Greenland, to the deserts in Saudi Arabia, to Senegal, and to take it even now to Dorset this coming weekend, which is going to be amazing with all the mud and all the obstacles there. Sardinia, it's been great. It's been great. We made it. The racing is incredible. And I can't wait for the second season to start, where we will apply all the learnings of this first season.
And what were those learnings?
Well, first of all, how to race these electric cars side by side, the race format. For example, the dust. We had all these challenges on the first race. We didn't know what we were going to expect. And also to fine-tune the cars, because it's the first time this has been done. Electric off-road cars in these kind of sprint races. Incredible hitting those cars, pounding them. So we learned a lot. We reinforced the cars. We have so many lessons. So we're ready really to go to the next level. And I think the show is going to be incredible.
Extreme E founder, I should say, Alejandro Agag, talking to Will Buxton earlier on this week. Well, that's all for now. I'm Diana Binks. Join us again here on Motorsport TV Live for all the latest news from the world of motorsport. Bye for now.